This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to the program. I'm Roby Brock. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. Immigration has been a pivotal debate in Washington, D.C. as lawmakers and the president work to find a solution for the dreamers, children who are now mostly grown-ups who were brought to the U.S. illegally when they were infants. A looming March 5th deadline could lead to a solution or deportation. I caught up with Senator Tom Cotton, who's had a hardline position on immigration reform, to find out if there's any areas for compromise. Let's talk about the issue of immigration, which has dominated Washington politics for the last couple of days. You have been pretty clear as to where some of your positions are on this, so I want you to specifically give me an illustration of one thing that you will not compromise on in this immigration debate and one thing that you will compromise on or are willing to compromise on in this immigration debate.
I think as we approach this problem of illegal immigrants who are brought here as young people through no fault of their own, we need to be generous and humane, but we have to be responsible as well. So I am perfectly willing to give legal protections to those people. That's a pretty big compromise for most Republicans. President Trump has said the same thing. But at the same time, we have to have genuine, responsible solutions here. So for instance, we cannot compromise and give legal status to the parents. That would undermine the entire rationale for the DACA program to begin with. You know, the program was designed to uphold the principle that children shouldn't pay for the crimes of the parents, but surely parents can pay for the crimes of the parents. That's why this solution has to be, but on the one hand, legal protections for those young people, but on the other hand, responsible measures to stop the encouragement of illegal immigration it will generate and stop the ability to generate new immigration to extended family members like parents and siblings, then on down the line to aunts and uncles and cousins and so forth. That, in my opinion, is a fair, generous, but responsible compromise.
Well, let's talk about there's going to be a March deadline that is going to come up because of the president's executive order that gave Congress 6 months to find a remedy for this. If that March deadline hits and you guys don't have something that will pass the Senate, something that will pass the House, and something that the president will sign, do you think there should be an extension so the debates can continue? Or are you okay with sending the dreamers, those children of the illegal immigrants, the DACA folks, are you okay with sending them back, deporting them?
Well, Roby, I certainly hope that we'll have a good bill that will pass the Senate and the House and go to the president's signature in February. As Senator McConnell said, he intends to bring a vote to the floor in February. That's been his intent in September. But as it happens, District Court out in California a couple of weeks ago ordered the Obama administration to start renewing DACA permits for the permit holders. And the administration has appealed that, but they haven't asked for a stay of that order, which means today, right now, DACA permit holders are currently renewing their permits. So although in September there was a 6-month deadline set for March 5th, the status quo right now is that the program is functioning as it was up till September. Again, that's not a good solution in the long term. We want a permanent legislative solution, but that's the status quo right now.
But if a legislative solution cannot be found, are you okay with deporting those DACA recipients, those folks in the program right now? Are you okay with moving them out of the country?
Roby, I think a legislative solution will be found. If it's not the kind of solution that I outlined earlier, which gives permanent legal protections to that group of DACA permit holders on the one hand in return for securing our border and ending chain migration, then I think we'll probably have a fallback position of a much smaller proposition that maybe just gives 1-year status in return for 1 year of funding for security on our southern and northern borders. So I think there'll be a legislative solution of one kind or another.